Okay, folks, we are going to discuss why I think Lubbock, Texas is going to be a potential gold mine for investors in the year 2025. We're going to get into things like the investment properties that I own myself. That's right, folks. I don't just tell you to do something that I want to do myself. I do it myself. So we're going to be getting into my portfolio, some of the houses there. We're actually going to go see one of the houses that I own that I've actively rented out. But there are plenty of ways to invest in real estate in Lubbock. And fortunately, I've narrowed it down. Fortunately, I'm a smart realtor. I do this a lot. So I've broken it down into 4 separate categories that we're going to go through and walk through in terms of investment properties that you would buy. Now, the first subject that we're going to be on, and that's why we're in the great Terrace neighborhood, is the concept of college rentals. That's right, folks. There's a university here that brings 40,000 souls every fall, and they depart. They don't die. Some of them might, but they don't. They depart Lubbock every spring as well. We came to Terrace in Wagner Park. As a matter of fact, potentially some houses that you've seen and might be seeing in the background, I have sold to investors, and they've been smoking deals for some of these folks. So one reason we got to highlight Terrace is because it is the neighborhood directly south of Texas Tech University, which is really fantastic. I used to live here in college. I actually lived here in a couple different houses in college, and I would just walk to school. It was amazing. It was incredible. We're at Wagner Park right now, which is kind of in the middle of Terrace. You'll see students out here having picnics, playing sports, playing tennis, playing basketball, walking around with their dogs. So I like this neighborhood a lot, like I said, and you can get a good house for around $250,000 to $300,000. Now, what you're going to get in rent in terms of college students, and like I said, you don't only have to rent to college students. You could do it to professors, to travel nurses, to families, but mainly it's going to be college students. The reason a lot of people like the college rental scene too is because you can rent by the bedroom. That means instead of renting a house, a 4-bedroom house, to a single family for, about $2,000 a month, let's say you rent out the bedrooms to a college student each year and you get $700 a room. That's $2,800. That's significantly more than just $2,000 that same house might bring in that amount of rent if it was just a normal family. So let's break down one of these houses that I sold here in the past year or so. There was a house, it was listed for $260,000. It had been on the market for a while. The inside wasn't super nice. It needed a little bit of work, but we went ahead and offered $275,000 because we did get into a bidding war with some folks. We actually ended up getting the house for $275,000 and got it rented out for $2,800 a month, which, do the math. I know a lot of these people in bigger pockets on these real estate investing podcasts say, oh, you want to hit the 1% rule. You still can do it. It's really hard to do, but in the college market, it makes it a lot easier to do it because you're able to get increased rents. So, the opportunity's here. It's just a matter of finding it. And this is just one strategy. Like I said, we're going to hit 4 separate strategies today that we're going to go through in this video, but this is just one of them, is the college rental market. And if you've got any questions about any of this jazz, you give me a call. My email's down below, and we will figure it out for you. I will get you one of these great deals. I promise I can do that. Okay, folks, so this is the second strategy. We just talked about the first. Now we're here at the second. And this is the single family residence strategy. And this is the strategy that I do myself over a dozen times over in Lubbock. As you can see, I got my sign out in the yard, but I've already got this bad boy rented. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house that was built in 2018 that was originally listed on the market for $235,000. Now, they had dropped it to about $225,000, I believe, or $220,000, and then we went ahead and offered $190,000 with $10,000 in closing costs. That means that they gave us $10,000 at closing to reduce our cash to close them out. And we actually did get the deal, and I was able to get this bad boy rented out for $1,800 a month, which means I pretty much hit that 1% rule that we were talking about earlier. So for you savvy investors and you cash flowing people, this is a pretty good deal. And it's also a 6-year-old house, so we're not dealing with much in terms of capital expenditure things we have to do. The plumbing's fine, the electrical's fine, the roof's fine, the HVAC's fine. We're not dealing with a bunch of crap that you're going to have to deal with in an older house. This is going to be a house that we're going to own for a very long time, and it's going to be a fantastic investment. And what I might do for you, if you buy a house with me as an investor, I will get your house rented for you. I know what I'm doing. I do this all the time. Andrew Baxter Rentals, baby. Let's do this. This is Lincoln 16. This is a development of mostly duplexes and triplexes and some quads. This is the third investment strategy in Lubbock, and it is the multifamily. Now, technically 1 to 4 units is residential. However, I kind of consider this multifamily because there's not a ton of other stuff like that in Lubbock. So we're going to look at this as the third investment strategy, is multiple units, multiple doors. Now, this is probably the best cash flowing thing you can buy in Lubbock. The great thing about these is that the market rents are pretty stable and consistent, which is a good thing. So you really are going to know what you're getting yourself into because you've got so many units that are also telling you the same story about what you can get in rent, how much the expenses are going to be. So it's a good way to just kind of get yourself into a market. If you're a first-time investor, I think buying a duplex is one of the best things you can do because you can move into one side, rent out the other side, and you become a landlord that lives right next door, and you get money that offsets your mortgage, and then just in a couple years go do it again. I think it's a fantastic way to do it. As a matter of fact, I just helped a gentleman move from Seattle all the way to Lubbock, and he did that himself. He bought a duplex, he moved into one side, rented the other side out. It's going to be great for him. But this is just a very solid neighborhood. I just wanted to show you guys what you can see, what you're going to find. We'll go drive through it and take a look at it. These range from around $350 to $400, and they're going to be getting $1,600 a side, just about. You could probably get $1,700, and also you can get creative with these. You can Airbnb some sides of them. You can rent to short travel nurses, midterm rentals. You can do all sorts of stuff. You can furnish them and get more rent. So the world's kind of your oyster, but these are practically brand new, and you can get them for $350, $375. You know, get close to $3,300, $3,400 a month. So pretty solid. Let's go look at them. Okay, folks, so now we are at the fourth investment strategy / opportunity / thing that you can do is Airbnb-ing. I'm in front of an Airbnb that my good buddy owns, one of my best pals on the planet, and I'm gonna let you in a little secret. This thing's actually for sale. He's willing to sell it, but I'm gonna run you through the numbers and you can talk about if you're interested in it or not. But let's just go inside, take a look. I'm gonna break down some numbers of what Airbnbs do. This one's very close to the university it's about 5 minutes away. So this thing's booked all the time for games, for parents' weekends, for fraternity sorority stuff. When parents come up, they just want to visit, yada, yada, yada. They can stay here, and it fetches a pretty good amount nightly. So let's go check it out. Okay, come on in if you don't mind, everybody. Come on in, get in here. It's cold out there. Get in here. Welcome to my crib. Okay, so this is one of the nicer Airbnbs that you're going to find in Lubbock. This thing actually fetches around $4,000 a month, sometimes more, sometimes a little bit less, but it's done up to $6,000 a month, especially during those really busy seasons, the basketball games, the football games. It's really nice, but like I said, close to campus. And I know the investor, I believe, bought this for somewhere around in the 300 range, and that's pretty decent return for what he's getting on what he initially put in. So let's check it out a little bit. In this one, I mean, if you're going to do an Airbnb, what you would do is you'd have a management company, an Airbnb management company that would manage and they would run everything. So you talk about passive income, they are going to be taking care of it. They're going to be cleaning it. Now, of course, they're going to charge their management fee. But if you want to do an Airbnb, I've got a list of recommended Airbnb rental people that I would recommend to you. But you got to call me first because you got to buy it first, and I'm going to help you do that. So let's keep going. So this is the master bedroom. And like I said, you know, Airbnbs, they do fun stuff like this. People like the rustic, the Western feel of it. We can just kind of take a look at the bathroom. And like I said, for investment, this is a really nice bathroom as well. For investment, if you're going to do an Airbnb, you want to make it like this, and it's worth the money putting into it because you're going to get a lot of it out. Like I said, for those busy football games that Texas Tech has, for those busy basketball games, those busy racquetball games, the lacrosse games, the meat judging games, chess games, all the games that bring a lot of people, this place is booked to the nines. So like I said, some months it's done $6,000, some months it's done a little less than $4,000, but it's usually around $4,000 on average. This is a cool little courtyard too, and I mean, we're more so breaking down the numbers. I'm just giving you guys a feel of what you can get that's close to the university, that's around $350,000 to $400,000 for the return that you could be getting on it, around $4,000, $4,500 a month. Anywhere and the nightly rents change, but that's why it's important to get a good Airbnb manager, and I will help you do that. But you got to call me first if you're interested in investing, because then I'll get you in charge. I'll get you in touch with all the right people. You know, I got all the contacts, so don't worry about it. But anyway, this is the fourth investment strategy that I would recommend if you're looking to invest in Lubbock. Mwah.